cold, right? Ghosts create cold spots. It's the old adage, ghosts actually create cold spots. So we are literally going to be looking for cold spots with a legitimate thermal imaging camera. So you guys should be able to see me in that camera. I'm orange, red, and yellow. So everything around me should be somewhat blue or black. Those are the colder areas because my skin temperature is going to be the warmest thing out here, and or your skin temperature, hopefully, if you're not ghosts. So with that said, we're going to be looking for those blue and black spots to move on their own. So when that happens, obviously, we're going to have a blue dot that bounces around the screen. That's going to always give us the coldest spot in the screen at that particular time. So we're going to be kind of watching for that. This does record video and audio. So Zach, I think we're going to go with you on this one, only because you're the one name I remembered so far. So with that, you're going to... Skin temperature is obviously the orange, red, and yellow will bounce out if if somebody isn't in view. So you're going to try to keep somebody in view at all times.
Got it.
You do have a center crosshair, so if we need to measure something specifically, just move the camera. Keep the camera on your left. YouTube doesn't like the flippies. You guys will have a video that's upside down, and then it sucks for everybody.
Got it.
So we're going to do start and stops from time to time, only because as great as the hardware is, the software for this particular piece of hardware is horrible. And we will lose video if we don't start and stop it from time to time. I'll give you the cues.
Should there be blue circles floating around right now? I'm messing with you.
You noted it. I'll say, I was going to tell you, I'll watch it in the morning because we're not stopping the video now.
He just had pasta for dinner.
Orange.
This is going to be a lively group.
We'll apologize right now.
All right, so spirit boxes. Who here is not familiar with what spirit boxes are? And it's okay if you're not. Perfect. All right, no idea. Spirit boxes are a way for us to communicate with the dead. So on your TV shows and your YouTube videos, I say YouTube because I'm looking like we have some teenagers among us. I'm sure they're watching, YouTube versus television. This is the white noise that you guys will hear on those videos, and then the host will usually give you the center phrase of what he thinks he heard. So we're going to be doing this in real time. The cool thing about this one is it is slowed down a little bit because none of you are used to listening to this for long periods of time, nor have you ever listened to one of these for more than 30 seconds on television. So I want the song lyrics, the DJs, the commercials, I want that stuff to actually come through. So in the event that something comes through and we can make it out, it's a 50-50 shot. I could tie it to the location of where we are, a person in history I'm talking about, or even something going on with one of us. It happens all the time. So this one does record, no outside noise, so it doesn't know what we're saying, and it's recording right now even though it's on mute. So I don't know how it does it, but it's why we have it. So, Taylor, was it? Look at me remembering names, guys.
Check you out.
I know. The medications for the back are really helping. So, you have one button to worry about. It is a little wheel at the very top of this. So you're going to control the volume. See how it's flipping through the radio stations? You're going to let me know whatever you hear out of this. And then I'm going to manually write them down and still listen to it tomorrow morning. So you will get that full recording back tomorrow. I'll give you about 15 to 20 markers of things that I hear, whether they're relevant or not. So the reason I give you both of them is so that it kind of trains your ear on how to listen to the whole recording. I'm not going to listen to the whole recording. There's 9 of you tonight, which, by the way, I only go to a max of 10. So once it went up to 9, I shut it off. So that way everybody here can have fun and I'm not overbooked. But with that said, you guys are going to record a good 7 to 9 hours worth of data. I'm not going to go through it all. I'm only going to go through it for about 2.5 hours, and then it's up to you guys, whatever you guys find from there, and then you get in touch with me to tell me what you found. That's half the fun of this. That's what you guys paid me for. So this is a full investigation from start to finish. It's the field work and the research. So this spirit box does the exact same things that Taylor's does. I'm going Taylor.
That's Katie.
Katie. Got it. So Katie, this one's going to go to you.
Okay.
So this one does the same thing, only does not record. So we're going to rely on you for what you hear.
Oh, she's
I know, right? No pressure.
All right.
So you also have one button. There's a little button where my index finger is.
I can't even see that.
Oh, it's a smooth ball, and you just look for the little button on the side. You hold it up to get some volume out of it gently, and then you hold it down to obviously turn it down.
Okay.
You got this.
Got it. I know.
I'm
all flustered. I'm all flustered.
You can work this one. All right. last spirit box. So this one's a little different. It actually gives us words from time to time on the center of the screen. This is a phone app, which means it is meant for game and fun and hoaxes and whatever else. 80% out of the things that come out of this thing are absolute BS. It doesn't mean anything. It's the other 5 to... Hey, I'm honest, right? So the other 5 to 20% that come out of this, again, related to the location, a person in history, or one of us. So again, with that said, I will always give you the highlight of what's relevant and then give you the backlink of where I got my information. Again, this is legitimate ghost hunting. So I'm always going to be able to verify those things with you. I'm going to clear out last night's list. They had about 73 terms. And start us off fresh. So, I'm losing names.
I don't have my glasses, so I'm good. And I'm a believer in this stuff, so.
Say
I'm a believer. I've had some
Hattie.
great experiences.
Hattie. And it's funny because you're the one name I'm going to have to probably call out the most because I will follow up with you with that list from time to time. How do you do that? The little white button to the right of the word, it looks like a scroll. You'll hit that scroll and it'll show you the whole list. And I'll say, let me see where we're at with the list. And then it's just circle back at the top right. You already got it.
All right.
Perfect.
I don't know.
Not gonna lie, I'm already questioning. You got a man on the side already?
I know, right?
One day in Charles said, look at her, blue.
Patty, you are 103 degrees right now, girl.
So,
Put it near your chest. It's cold.
this is the neuralizer for Men in Black. None of you are going to remember a David thing. Lasers.
Wow.
Laser.
Disco.
I know, right? You can see the pen in my hand, you can see the dots on the ground. The reason why we use lasers is because you can't see what passes through them until something goes through it. So you can't see them until obviously something's going to pass through it. So we use green dots, and then we also use red squares. In the event we capture a picture here, we're going to be taking hundreds of pictures through these, by the way. We can then put it in 3D software, and I can give you a full 3D view of what we caught along with measurements. So, first and foremost, these do not go to teenagers. So, Dad, these are going to go to you. Get used to how those work.
Is that what's going to happen?
I don't know. Maybe.
I can't see it.
And then Tucker,
Who is Luke?
Lasers get Nick in a lot of trouble. You want to keep them pointed down. There is a laser law in Charleston, so no pressure on you either.
It was nice knowing you.
I'll be the one in handcuffs.
We know our way back.
All right, so go ahead and point one of those lasers down for me. So Tucker, you're going to be taking hundreds of pictures through Dad's lasers. I'm going to point it right in front of me. So you're going to be going through them. I know what they look like on the ground. I'm literally looking for something here. So you're going to be taking pictures through the lasers. So Dad, you don't want to cross the streams either because it just makes you dizzy. Bad Ghostbuster joke and nobody got it. So somebody got it now. But yeah, when you're using the lasers, you literally want to have them side by side, nice and still. You want to be nice and still when taking pictures. Do you know how to use one of these? All right, big button takes the pictures. Teenagers normally don't know how to use a digital camera. It's the only reason why I ask. So they're so used to their phones. All right.
I don't know. I already forgot what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
Oh, it changed.
It changed.
Millimeters. So these are pretty much a necessity when we're out here.
Beer.
Basically what they do, this one actually has 3 different functions. Definitely Saturday night.
That should be us.
Those will also set off car alarms, just so you know, Dad. The lasers will set off car alarms. You have to be careful around cars.
Maybe you shouldn't have given that to me.
I don't like to run with 10 other people. I'm the one with the back injury. I'm going to be last.
We only have
I
to do
doubt it. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, he can't run.
All right. So, William, this one's going to go to you. So, what this guy does, are you familiar with millimeters at all?
No.
All right. So, basically, 3 different functions. Electromagnetic fields is going to be the first measurement. Your big number on this guy is anything above 2.5 I'm going to be excited about. So that means that it's going to detect anything that is breaking an electromagnetic field, including parking meters and wires from buildings and things like that. We're looking for it to kind of go amok, a little bit crazy. The bottom number, in the event if Zach finds something on his camera, we're going to be able to debunk that by the bottom number because it's measuring the ambient temperature from here. It also has a REM pod built into it, which basically means it's going to detect motion. If something gets close to that antenna, it's going to go off. The closer it gets, the higher pitch it's going to go. So again, we don't always use that. Thank God, these cars are killing me tonight. But I'll show you more about that REM pod feature at our first location.
So I need to shine this at you, essentially.
I don't have to touch anything.
You're
right?
112
Not yet.
degrees.
I just can't see things.
He is hot.
We'll tell ya.
Belly's
You're gonna
Why
high.
are you getting so
So
close
what
to
this guy does, I told you about the electromagnetic fields. This is just a lot easier to read. So with you guys not never taking
Six.
testing tours or anything like that, I figured I'd try to keep things a little simpler. Now, in the event we have an electronic device, that's my cell phone making it go off, it's going to make it go into a rhythm or a pulse. We're looking for it to go a little erratic, so that way we can kind of determine what it's going to do. So it doesn't make any noise, doesn't vibrate or anything crazy like that. And then last but not least, we want to...
We're coming back here, so I can keep this here and then get it on the way back.
That's right.
All right. So,
Yeah, you get the cool shit. That's
a GoPro.
you
Please
right or
can see that in
left-handed?
your hand.
I'm right-handed.
Perfect. You guys should not be able to see me in this camera at this point. So the screen should be pretty much black. Very minimal lighting. So we're going to turn on some full spectrum lighting. That's light you can't see with your own eyes. So I should be in a purplish, pinkish hue right now. So basically we're looking for things that we can't see with our own eyes. So this is a light that we can't see. So if something is going to reflect that light, hopefully you're going to capture it on video tonight. This is a relatively new device for us. So again, you're the guinea pig.
Yeah.
I figured you were kind of chatty, so you can kind of give me the feedback on what's going on with these guys.
You're gonna
I'm
be
the
seeing all
writer,
spooky
which means
shit.
you guys are all characters to me at this point. So
So what's the picture like?
I'm normally here early, so I can kind of help depict on what's who's who. I'm going to wipe off that lens real quick just to make sure I don't have any fingerprints or any sanitation
You have a question
bubbles
already?
on there.
Yeah.
So
You just tell me when to
Yep.
video.
at our first location, guys. Yes.
Why does this keep on changing words?
Again, 80% of what comes out of there doesn't mean anything. It's
Got
an
it.
app. It's meant for a game and a hoax.
Okay.
So again, it's going to spit out words from time to time, and based on the stories of where we're going to be, will determine whether it's relevant or not. The
Got it.
game
Okay.
we're playing is it from the app or is it from a ghost? That's
Got
basically the easiest way to come up with that.
Okay.
The other spirit boxes, it's 50%, so it's like a 50-50 shot. That's 80-20. So
It just said Casper.
definitely as far
We're
as
screwed.
your devices having extra questions, at our first stop, this was just a quick, let's get some devices in your hands, and so forth and so on. You can ask me more questions at the first stop because we're each going to have a one-on-one, so I can show you more things about it. So,
Cool.
Good.
I honestly am a little nervous.
did it really say Casper?
No.
Category by Aaron.
We'll go over all of that. Again, you won't have to stop me with every term that shows up.
So
I'll
we
ask you.
we really do. We've had some great experiences in Pennsylvania and other places.
You're not
Great
supposed
stuff.
to say.
So we're really following this stuff. This stuff really is. There's some legitimacy to
Crazy.
this stuff. It really is cool. So
But it does say
We've
was
had
a
some-
liar, so
yeah,
don't believe
no,
it.
we've had some great experiences.
Yeah.
Bill is
Liar.
lying.
We had a really good one up in Gettysburg. It was amazing.
Storyteller.
So we got our own little
William.
dowsing rods and stuff, and we had an experience in Key West a couple months ago. We all went down there, went to a gravesite, and got some great interaction with some stuff around the site.
Was it a specific grave site that you went to?
Yeah, absolutely. We narrowed it
Yeah.
down. That was the USS Maine.
Okay.
I was there and communicated with actual
Oh, wow.
sites
It's a hoax.
there, tombstones.
Yeah.
Called out certain names, and the dowsing rods reacted. You got to be careful with them,
Right.
but they reacted like firmly. There was
Or
no
didn't do
wind
anything.
moving. I mean, firm, locked right in. Answered their questions. You've got to be very careful how you ask them.
Right.
Very just slow and precise, but it was amazing stuff.
So
Crazy.
two things
We
I'll
do
point
believe it,
out.
yeah.
We just got back from Gettysburg last year. So, I mean, I still have some data I have to go through because all my stuff goes to a podcast with our investigations. And I just haven't gotten to that yet because I had to wrap up school. So those are coming up soon. And second, notice everybody here has something electronic. Just because of that, I'm a very honest person, thank you for pointing out. But again, that dowsing rods, if I hand them to somebody that I don't know, all of a sudden they're spinning around, and where's the legitimacy for me to be able to prove to 9 other people that the person holding the dowsing rods, like I'm literally going after the raw data here. So, and
Yeah.
as we get through the next set, our first stop, because we're going to talk about Big John's here in just a second, but that's going to show you a little bit more about how to ask questions on spirit boxes. Again, this is almost like a ghost hunting 101, because it's definitely not television. So, let's talk about Big John's. She's like, oh, I'm noisy. He's staring at me. I better turn it down. So, Big John's. Drink first. You guys are all definitely going to be keeping me on my toes. You can
April's
feel
got
that
the
one already.
shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Big John's, you can see that it's been established in 1955. However, this version of Big John's just opened up about 6 weeks ago. So they reopened. It was a couple of restaurants in between, but it used to be called Big John's Tavern back, obviously, in 1955. It's named after Big John Kennedy. He was a football player for the 1947 New York Giants. This was his bar. He sat in the back, this side, and he used to let the bartender know if the cadets coming over from the Citadel, if they were old enough to drink or not. One night, 2 guys come in, they weren't old enough to drink. He lets the bartender know, he throws them out. They leave pretty angry. Come back the next night. They try to steal the cash register from the front of the bar. They get pretty angry. Bartender, sees what's going on, but so does Big John. Big John gets up from the bar and starts pounding these guys into the floor, just beating the hell out of them. So, a couple of shots go off. John gets hit in the neck. The bullet lands in the wall. John gets up after being shot, goes back to the bartender and tells him to get him another beer and to get the 2 guys on the floor an ambulance. So, funny story because A, nobody died in that story. And second, John's the only one that got shot and he's the only one that got up. So, put those 2 clues together. But what's haunting the place is the bullet hole. It's allegedly still here. I haven't checked it since they renovated the place, so I'll have to get back in there to see if the bullet hole's still there. But people that sit in the front of the bar tend to get a little queasy, nauseous, headache. I bring this story up on purpose because we've had people actually have queasy, nauseous, headaches. We're going to be dealing with paranormal activity tonight, fingers crossed. So again, I don't know how that's going to affect any of you, so if anybody starts to feel those symptoms, I need to know immediately to get everybody to safety. So I will tell you about the instance where I had somebody pass out just last week, once we get to that location, because it'll make more sense once we're there. So again, I do a lot of that. So, yes sir.
Like every couple minutes, my camera just like shuts off.
Yep, it's an automatic shut off. You gotta hit the power button to turn it back on. All right, so let's not. Yeah, definitely saves batteries. So let's not talk about our own health. Let's talk about the same building. We had a big earthquake here in 1886. If you've never taken a Charleston tour, we all talk about that earthquake. This is where the first death occurred from that earthquake. The mantle you see in the middle of the building also wraps around the front of the building. A piece of it broke off and struck somebody in the back of the head and killed him. And they say you can see his ghost in the middle of East Bay Street in the middle of the night. I say apparently and allegedly a lot with that because I don't have any proof. It's just a great segue, so Nicole's not thinking about getting sick on the tour. Because she's looking at me with like big wide eyes, like I brought my kids to this and saying we're gonna get sick. So, are you guys ready to go ghost hunting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go this way.
All right. Uncomfortable.
Still? Oh.
Yeah. Good quarantine. I'm like, listen, I'm just worried like it's gonna be here.
It's just gonna be a face.
Oh, 6, 7. Okay.
It said Casper.
Mine says please, and hers just said help.
I don't think it said help.
I think it did.
This is great weather.
All right. Oh, good. We're gonna walk it off. Where'd you guys go to eat? Tommy Collins?
Yeah.
Very haunted location, by the way, just so you know. Most places down here have some type of activity.
Well, I found out earlier today that most of these places are built on trays.
So, before we get into that, why I asked you which specific grave when you were down in Key West was because Stories in a Cemetery, you're walking through one giant cemetery. It's called Charleston. We're not actually going to be walking through graveyards tonight because I don't normally get a whole lot of activity in graveyards because are you going to hang out where you're buried once you're gone? Probably not. You're going to go to the beautiful places that you love and you're going to see some of those places as we roll along. So let's talk about this location. This is kind of a level 1. This is going to be very easy. We're not going to be here for very long. This is just a good spot for me to show you more tactics about your device and that way you can get used to listening and watching for certain things. This is the Big Red Barn Lot. This is where we keep the horses for your carriage rides. So, only history here is really simple. This is the same red barn where we held horses that delivered milk and eggs to the residents of Charleston. We're also close to Big John's. So let's talk about your spirit boxes because we do have 3 of them in play tonight. So this is not TV. This is not, is somebody here? Because if somebody answers no, somebody's here. He answered you. That's how that works. So we're going to stick to non-yes or no questions all night long. You guys are all here for some type of paranormal proof. Yes or no questions are not the way to get that kind of proof. If somebody's here, tell me what color the big red barn is. Obviously, we're going to be listening and looking for the color red. We have 2 spirit boxes out here tonight that are using DJs and song lyrics to convey messages back to us. The word red might not be in there. This is about putting clues together. You might hear, what color is the big red barn? Fire truck, blood, or heart. All 3 of those things are specifically red. It's not going to be shirt or shoes or truck. It's going to be something that is specifically red. So again, what color is the big red barn? Heart. That's an acceptable answer. However, we're next to Big John's Tavern. His teammates like to come through even when we're just practicing back here. Let's say you hear the number 40 and you get the word art on your word list. Art Faircloth was number 40 on Big John's team. That's verification. That's something I can tie together. I never put those 2 things together until it's like, oh, I know for certain that that player was that number, or this was his wife's name, or so forth and so on. I always need double clues most of the time. Now, most of the stories I'm going to tell you tonight have multiple Charleses, multiple Elizas, Georges, whatever other name, multiple people, same name. I need to know who the heck we're talking to, and so do you. So again, that double clue is where we're going to get a lot of that from. So in the event you don't get something like fire truck, heart, red, anything related to that, open it up. What's inside the barn? Obviously they're horses. They were delivery horses. That's a key word. Milk, eggs, protein, calcium. These are all key words. Anything related to a horse is obviously going to be, stable, hay. Those are all definite clues. What's inside the barn? Hay. That makes sense. So again, it's all about the context of the way the words are going to come through. It's not going to be a full-blown conversation like, hi, I'm Big John Kennedy. I was number 20 for the New York Giants. He's not going to give you all of that. It's going to be little tiny tidbits at a time. So I normally take the spirit boxes you guys can start to spread around. I take the 2 video cameras and keep them with me first, so that way I can show the 2 of you a little bit more tactics, and then I move directly into the Mel meter. So I'm going to keep you kind of close by too, so I can show you more things about that REM pod. April, if you want to show them a little bit more about the lasers and show the photo expert, and make sure they can
Then I'm panicking.
Oh, all right, everybody, we're going to stay within the confines of this lot. We're not going to spend a lot of time here, but start asking those type of questions, things you know the answers to. So cameras, follow me this way, and I'm going to show you more tactics. All right, so with yours, I want you to point your camera at this wall and watch it bleed out. So the reason why I want the skin temperature in there, your wall should turn blue once my hand gets into play. You want that variation of temperature. With that being said, if you don't have somebody in there, it's going to be harder to look for those blue and black spots to move on their own.
Got it.
At the next stop, I am going to show you more tactics or the actual evidence of things I've caught with that. But for now, just try to keep the sky out of play. I know it's hard to do in certain locations. That blue dot will automatically go to the sky because it doesn't know what to measure. Which, by the way, we can see the planet Venus tonight right underneath the moon, in case you guys didn't know that.
That'll be nice to Photoshop.
I know, right? So with the... just try your best to keep the sky
somebody
out.
in
Always somebody in play if you can. And we have a pretty large group tonight,
Yeah.
but it should be pretty easy. But again, with our start and stops, I'll let you know where we're at with those start and stops. After the next location, you'll definitely get a break from yours, and then you're definitely going to be starting yours after I finish the next story.
Okay.
So with your video, go ahead and point it at me, just so you kind of get the gist
And then
of
do you
it.
want me to push this button?
When we're ready to record. We're not ready
Okay.
yet. So what I'm looking for in this guy, I want you to keep in mind there's 2 different lights on, and this battery's open. Shut it off.
Oops,
So,
sorry.
it's okay.
I'm antsy.
This one's long range. This one is short range. This bottom, just so you know what this guy
Come
does,
here.
it's night vision. Do you see the purple and green?
so I was
Yeah.
pointing at
We
her,
don't use night
and
vision.
it's like,
just
Kayla,
because it
there's
draws
something
attention
behind
from
you,
the other
girl.
towards it.
I
Already
realize
got
it's
light.
her hair.
Okay.
They like to interrupt by people going, what are you using now? What's he got you doing?
Yeah. Okay.
all the time.
And I don't need that.
Watch how
See
many
a big
hand bleaches out your
red
camera.
cloud.
So see how white whites
Yeah.
out?
That's
When
how
that
I was
happens, people or whatever and everything, it's just white face on your
It's actually
screen.
fatty.
Just shut it off. Just right back to the
Where's
top.
that?
Just
Yeah.
run it. Don't worry about this long stretch, because even when you get this one off, it's still protecting exactly.
Take your
All I'm saying is y'all better not toot, because I'm going to catch it on thermal. That's all I'm saying.
So what I'm looking for in this video, just so you know, obviously you can see me in the pinkish purplish hue, right? We're still underneath the light, so
Yeah.
it's probably a bad example. But I'm literally looking for things in the darkness out of this. I want things to pop out of the darkness that you wouldn't normally see. So again, I've only had this for about 2 months, a little over now, so I have a couple of things that I'm like, oh, what's that? I have something breezing by real fast like that. Can't explain it. I have a little lightning crack coming through it on a nice clear night in front of somebody. What the hell was that? I don't know. You will see a lot of bugs, and you'll start to notice them because they look like little bleach balls going through, and they're pretty easy to spot as you kind of go through things. So as you notice too, you only have 90 minutes worth of video. That's why we're savoring yours. He has lots of video, however, his software sucks. So that's why we're kind of going back and forth. We'll have more video of that than yours.
You just tell me when to record too, and I'll press the button. I don't know if I should be or not, when or not.
You still have a red square on, right?
Yep.
So we're still recording.
The timer hasn't been going off.
I'm not worried about the timer.
Oh, so we're still going. Okay.
Yep, we're still
cool.
going.
Cool.
As long as that square is there, we're good.
Cool.
All right. So has your top numbers moved at all? Have you seen any readings?
Oh yeah, as far high as 6.
Okay, that's
They were
good.
coming through here.
So your device doesn't record anything, so I have to manually record stuff. But I am going to shut off the temperature just because we want to put all the battery juice into that EMF. We're going to turn on the temperature readings when we kind of have a gist of what might actually be happening inside his screen. Now, you can see it's obviously moving a lot faster now. But again, 6 is definitely worth noting. Big red. So anything above 2.5 here, we kind of want to see. 0.6?
0.6. Correct.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have my glasses, so I'm struggling.
Well,
0.6.
hopefully you can see colors without your glasses. Pull up your antenna.
The blue.
Nope.
Oh, that.
Yep, he's right. Pull it all the way up. Now where I left the little flap open in the back, there's 2 little white buttons. You're going to feel underneath the flap. There you go. See the 2?
Okay,
The one closer to the edge is the one you want to press all the way in and click it into place. Perfect.
Okay.
So what you just did was you created an EMF field that's not being measured here, but it is wrapped around your antenna like this.
Okay.
When something interrupts it, it kinks. Now, on the right-hand side here, you have 4 buttons. In the event you kinked it because it was from your motion, which is probably 75% of the time, you can reset it by hitting this very bottom button, and you always want to have your thumb at the ready for that to make sure it's not from your motion.
Okay.
So when you see motion, obviously you stop, click the button, and if it's still going off in that crazy whatever, then obviously you have something going on. So again, always have your thumb at the ready for that specific type of motion. Because again, I normally hand this to females, because females walk way more gracefully than we do.
Okay.
So when you're walking around, you're going to hear it going off like crazy, I know it, but that's okay. When I told the spirit boxes to turn theirs down, this is also just as distracting when I'm telling you guys history, so I'll ask you to hit the little white button in the back at the same time. I told them to turn the spirit box on. But again, this guy, you can also use this as a call and answer. So it's kind of like if somebody's here, make it go to blue, and there's blue, purple, red, green, use specific colors. If you want to find out something favorite color, that's another good color. So again, this is very useful for you. Again, your device, I've seen it spike out and error out at almost 200 millivolts, whereas the other one that I pointed out only goes to 25. So on the tour, I've seen it spike at 150. Now, this thing obviously the lighthouse that I just did last one, that was at 198, and it gave me an error. I left the room, went back in, another 198, errored, but went back to normal. So I was kind of like, okay, that's kind of yep.
So it's in proximity to this antenna, is that
You got
correct?
it.
Okay.
And I have it set pretty small, so that way it's not wide, and every bug that flies by you is going to make it go off. So again, possibly your motion, that's where you click the button.
Right.
Just to make sure it's not you, because you're being pretty still right now. That is definitely not you.
Okay.
So, obviously I'll be recording that.
Okay. Oh wow.
I should be recording that.
Yeah. That's crazy, isn't it?
Oh shoot! I gotta keep my hand out of it. Oh,
Don't tell me if there's a spirit by me.
hello, spirit.
I'm like, I don't really understand how to use my thing.
I don't know if this is audio or not.
Oh.
I'm talking about farming all that. Zoinks.
So let's keep being a quick.
Patty, hold it in, girl. Come on.
Are you having my big cooch? They're gonna look at these videos tomorrow and be like, what the heck? Who was that? I was gonna be recording this. I'm like, but you like the
You guys ready to learn some real history now?
Oh,
Yeah.
Alright, let's quit talking to ponies and football players.
I know.
on, baby.
Jesus,
You
Dad.
catching anything?
Depends on the vehicle. Did I hand this to the wrong person? Did I hand this to the wrong person?
It smells a little carriage. I guess you were wrong about that barn.
Are there still horses in there? No, that's...
Yeah, they do carriage rides and everything.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Ma'am, I have a question for you.
Yes, dear.
Does this take audio as well?
It does.
Oh, boy.
So you're gonna have a good couple of conversations in the beginning.
Yes, when the square is on, it will record your conversation.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Woo.
What is Five Church?
It's a restaurant right now.
Well,
Yeah.
it used to be a Catholic church.
No?
No.
Ah,
It was a church. I just don't think it was a Catholic.
Oh,
Oh.
well, Catholic came up on my word.
Really?
Yep.
Now you got me second guessing this.
Yeah, I was like, I only know about the bar.
This
the
thing
bar.
just hit free.
And the bar actually has claimed contents. Bottles like to fall off the shelves in there.
I have
Wow.
heard that, yeah.
All
Hey,
right,
we're at
let's
5,
gather through,
4,
save your
and
batteries
4.8.
For just a minute there, Joe.
Does that
he's
mean
like, man, I
anything?
want to get to work.
Is
I
it
thought it was-
0.5 or
No,
over?
4.5.
I
and-
saw 26.
Oh, yeah.
This just
Right,
vibrated.
So then I think I have to record that.
4.5.
4.5.
No, I have to record that, not you.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, well,
where
what
I
is your
manually
job?
record things.
This vibrated.
Recorded if it's over 2.5.
No, that's me. I record it.
somebody's got a text message. That's why.
This vibrated.
So that's just part of the aesthetics of the app. All right, let's circle in so I can give you guys some history
Yeah.
before we dive in. You guys are like jumping the gun here. I love the preamp, but
I
you
feel
need to
like
know what
we're
the heck
gonna
you're
mess
looking for.
something up, so we're like,
You're
go
not gonna
tell
mess
us
something
everything.
All right, so welcome to another beautiful site of Charleston. If you guys don't know where to park, by the way, by the time you're done with me, you have issues that I cannot fix. So, again, it's a,
This is a great
GPS.
Just
Lane
for the
game,
parking
love it.
alone.
this is the Pinckney mansion site. So Charles and Eliza Pinckney lived here. Their mansion sat in the front. Eliza's garden was lined up with right to the right of that silver truck and came all the way across. And we are standing where the servant and slave quarters would have been for the home. So first and foremost, I should tell you, I'm not going to give you questions like what color is George Washington's white horse, like what we did with the big red barn. You will get the answers to your questions from your spirit boxes. That's why everybody's going to be huddled around you and your family. So she's like, okay, I got it, no pressure. So again, I'm not going to be giving you those answers. I will give you leading questions at the end of this piece so that way you guys have somewhere to at least start. So Eliza and Charles had a son named Charles, had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 Charleses in case you lost track. The son and the nephew, signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. However, you guys are all on vacation. Nobody wants to talk about politics, including me, and my wife definitely doesn't want to hear it. So we are going to talk about Eliza. If I don't bring up that signers of the Constitution piece, they usually scream at me through a spirit box and say signer. They'll give me their name real quick, or they'll even put Constitution up there. I've seen it happen, and I should leave it out on purpose, but I don't, because I don't like to be screamed at even by ghosts. It's never fun. So, Eliza, she married Charles at a young age. I'm not going to tell you how old she was. I will tell you that Charles was over double her age. She did marry him out of love. This was not an arranged marriage, and this was also in the 1740s. So it wasn't for a green card or citizenship because there was no such thing yet. So again, this was a legitimate marriage out of love. She married him because her father over in England he thought he was dying, and he wanted to see all of his kids one last time. She didn't think he was dying, so she put her foot down and she got married. She was right. Dad didn't die right away. He starts sending over gifts from England. One of those gifts happened to be the plant indigo. You guys have been here for at least a few hours. You've probably seen the word indigo somewhere, I'm sure. Indigo is a seed that makes blue dye that makes our blue jeans blue. We got a couple of people wearing it tonight because that's how we still use it. It started right here in her garden with experiments because it doesn't always stay warm here. She had to learn from her slaves how to keep it cultivated in our weird temperatures. This is actually a really nice, cool night for us, but in January, I'm out here with a winter coat and hot hands because people still want to go ghost hunting in the cold, apparently. So, but anyway, once she figured it out from her slaves, she did move it to a plantation up in Mount Pleasant, just north of here. Calls her dad up, not really, because there's no phones back then, just so you two know. And says, hey, rice plantations are going down. I'm going to rag on these two all night long, just so you know. History, it's important. So I need somewhere to sell this stuff because the rice plantations are going downhill. We're going to make a killing off this indigo. So he sends her some contacts. We have a businesswoman selling internationally in colonial times, which is something absolutely unheard of. So I'm just giving you the tip of the iceberg of the things that this woman has done for this country. So let's talk about the weird stuff about Eliza. Eliza was the second wife named Eliza from Charles. Ironically, both Eliza's maiden name starts with the letter L. We need to know who the heck we're talking to. Ask what the maiden name was, not the middle name, because I know that often gets confused. Maiden name. So, I already told you about the marriage, so you can ask obviously about those ages. You can ask what happened to the mansion. It's obviously not here anymore. Then you can ask when did that tragedy happen? Yes, I'm giving you a clue that it was a tragedy, so hopefully we'll get the year if you get the tragedy, and then ask when it happened. The children, tread lightly. You already know that there was at least one child. His name was Charles. There is a tragedy. She had more than just Charles, but there is a tragedy among those kids. If we poke the bear, all activity will stop, including the readings we're getting on the K2 meter that we've already seen so far.
7-3.
7-3. And on Williams, apparently. So, remember 7-3, I gotta write it down. So, all activity will stop if we poke it too far. So maybe ask what the kids' names were, how many kids did she have, how many boys, how many girls. Keep it really, really simple if you can. Eliza's death, ask anything you want to. She's pretty open. Hey, Eliza, how old were you when you died? What did you die from? Where are you buried? And what U.S. president was a pallbearer at your funeral? If that doesn't tell you how important this young lady was, I don't know what will. So, do you guys know what a pallbearer is? I just have to ask. Pallbearer are the people that carry the coffin to the gravesite. So it's an honor to be able to do that. So in my grandmother's will, she left it that I was supposed to be a pallbearer at her funeral, which it was an honor for me to be able to do that for her. So,
you started talking about his wife and stuff. The entire conversation, this thing shut up to 17 and just went crazy, 7 to 17. And as soon as you stopped talking about him, it just went to 0.
I'm not surprised.
As soon as you stopped.
I'm not surprised at the slightest. So, you guys have enough questions to get yourself started. If you go rogue, and you can, ask questions that we can prove. As far as the servants and slaves, I can't prove any of it. There's no records. So if you're going to hang out back here, have fun with it. If you get direct answers, cool. I just can't prove any of it. However, ask questions that we can prove. Dates, numbers, names, things like that. So I don't know how Eliza felt about her slaves. Feelings, I can't prove any of that stuff. Again, we want facts. That's why you all are here. We definitely want to get your video started in here. Watch your lasers on your end. Please don't test them with these people's vehicles. People with cameras, including digital cameras, Tucker. So people do not like their cars being filmed or pictures taken of. So if you see somebody going to their vehicle, we're going to go the opposite way. Just keep it nice and simple. They don't know what we're doing, but Zach, if I was a car thief, that would be my favorite tool because I know how long every car's been here based on a T signature. No ideas for you, Tucker. I already see them laughing. So have some fun in here. Stay out of in between the vehicles. We have plenty of space to work with. We are going to stay within the confines of the walls. This is where I check you guys in to kind of give you guys a head start based on where you guys bought your tickets from. So, and then April and I are going to figure out a way so I can keep the microphone on me so she's not trying to keep up with my fast pace. So that way the stories will come straight from me. Yeah, so we're going to figure that out, but go ahead and get started. You're going to be following Nicole and William to see where the readings are. Definitely, your REM pod's already on. Go ahead and get your video started. So, yep, just tap it till it starts flashing, and you're good to go. Spirit box is up. Let's get them up, loud and proud. Have some fun in here.
So do I just walk around?
Walk around, look for those dark spaces.
So yeah, let's ask questions. Stay by you, William.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's one.
What's the blue mean?
I'm not really sure.
It's not going to take on the outside.
Hey, Bill, stay where you are.
You got something, Zach?
Right over his shoulder.
Let me see.
Yeah, see, it's picking up on it right now. You see that black spot? What is
Oh,
that?
yeah. There's somebody peeping over there. That's a dumpster over there.
Is it?
It's just supposed to be blue.
All right, you're good. I don't know. Yeah, it hasn't moved at all.
I was like, how many bedrooms are in your house?
Well, didn't the house fall?
Crowded bedrooms.
Alright, Zach, can you show you some evidence from that thing? So this actually occurred up in that top right corner. See where the lamppost is up in the corner?
Well, I had something right over there, too. Just a second ago. Let me see what you got, because I'll tell you if it was similar to what I had or not.
Two living people are going to walk past the wall. You'll see the orange heads. Do you see them?
Uh-huh.
Alright, let's fast forward. And you're going to see two dead people going the opposite way. They're going to go past the wall. They're going to start at the right side of the lamppost.
Oh, thrilling. Okay.
So, well, if you notice, and I'll rewind it again, you'll see that somebody was always in view right here on the right-hand side. So, once he'll pan down and back up, I went back too far. But there's always a person's skin in view. I believe he has a mask on, too.
Yeah, wow,
So-
that's crazy.
So, like, they should have been yellow,
Yeah, yeah.
around the same color. So you think you caught something? Show me exactly
Well,
what area?
I mean, if it's still over here, I'm going to be shocked. But my dad was standing right over there earlier, and, like, right on that wall, like, right where it splits between the white and the brick,
Yeah.
there was something blue. No, it was much colder than that, too. In that general area, so it might have just been something from over there, but it was something really cold sitting over there, like, up above his right shoulder, so...
So also keep in mind, you have a color bar on the right-hand side.
Mhm.
That's going to give you your high temperature and your low temperature. That kind of
It
shows
was black. It wasn't really blue, so...
Good.
Okay.
So the colder it's going to be in variation to whatever the warmest temperature is, you'll see it kind of fluctuate. Like you might have more orange on there at one point. You might not even have any white at another point. So again, that's why I like the skin temperature in there, because if you take a person out, that color scheme is going to broaden up a little bit.
Okay.
This way we have more to deal with. But again, it's hard to keep the sky out of view here.
Yeah.
So I mean, do your best.
I've been trying to keep it down a little
Yeah.
bit, because I tell it goes up immediately.
The
But
biggest thing, honestly, is to keep the camera on the left. So even when I say stop it, just
Yeah.
and you start it back up again, I splice these together so it doesn't know the orientation. It
Okay.
just knows where the camera was.
okay.
But yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it when I'm watching.
Well,
I spot check the
you'll
video.
hear me go, "Hey, Dad, stop," because it was just to the right of him. There was something, and it's not there anymore where I was filming it from, but it was dark black, just like sitting there. And I walked up to it, and I was like, "Something's not." And I turned away, and now I turned back now, and it's gone. So
Well, when I was over there, before you called me, like 5 seconds before, I had asked if there's any Pinckneys present in this area, and this thing shot to 7.8, and then you said, "Hey, Dad."
no way.
I swear to God.
Well,
that's
you
odd.
did ask a yes or no question.
Well, I said, "Are there any Pinckneys
Yeah.
here in the area?" And this thing went to 7.8, and that's when he said, "Hey, Dad."
Any motion come out of it? Any of the colors blinking back at you?
Right here just did no motion. But over here, they were asking a question, and the whole spectrum lit up.
And that's motion. That's what's coming out of the antenna.
Right, exactly. That was
Okay.
right here with them a few minutes ago. They were asking her about the indigo. So I had it pointed in that direction, but it just didn't light up. All right, cool. So this is indicating that what?
So that is detecting electromagnetic. Different styles, different types of meters.
Okay.
So this is creating different height, so that way it's not being measured here and vice versa.
Okay.
Kayla, stop tooting. Good God.
You have a read here and not here and vice versa.
So what did he say?
I don't know yet.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
gonna have to review them.
All right.
We do have like
Show you the cool video yet?
standard.
Yeah.
And like when he was
Weird.
pointing out, it's like, so we do-
And I don't know what was going on, but we were just talking. My father was sitting over there, and there was just like a very dark black like spot behind him, and he said he was getting a reading when I told him to stop moving because it was right over his shoulder. But
Yeah.
we shall see on the review. You guys are going to be laughing at this audio. I'm sorry. I can't.
We love it.
Okay.
So they're alive. These are the point of reference.
Don't mind me if I'm just creeping behind y'all. Girl, if you tell me that there's some crazy stuff going on behind me on that infrared, could you do me a huge favor?
Yeah.
Could you hold this for like 10 on the middle, right in the middle? Thank you. Get my nicotine fix.
Smile. That was a ghost.
They're gonna catch Spirit, stop knocking the camera around, please.
I don't think I'm really using this correctly.
No, you're fine. Do you have the? Oh, you don't have the info on, do you?
I don't know. I keep turning it on and off. I don't see its effects.
Well, you should ask him.
Like,
The thing is I keep on looking around enough. Is like there could be a devil face in front of me,
I know,
and I'm
that's
like
what-
not even looking at it.
that's why I'm like, I'm trying to like go away, but I also like, I don't want to get too far from the group.
We're gonna make our way back over towards them, but I gotta keep somebody in view. So I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna use you as a.
Hopefully put the swimming effect on for me.
Yep. Here, Bill calling me. Oh, hold up. What am I looking down? Oh, I gotta keep the sky out of here.
Anything happening over here?
Is there anyone from the Pinckney family or associates of the Pinckney family present right now? Visiting here right now.
Hey, were they really political?
Were the Pinckneys political?
I wonder what president it was. That was a pallbearer.
I don't know.
We need to have Patty saying that.
We're at 8.
Was there, I wonder, do you think there was a lot of people at the funeral?
Well, how many people were here for the funeral? I do remember the Pinckney name though.
Must have been respected if there was a lot of people at the funeral. Probably helped a lot of people then.
Where they start.
What, do we lose him?
I don't want to get in a.
Like I'm trying to look at the light, but I'm like I'm not seeing these in this. Yeah.
Taylor.
Okay. It could be tomorrow. Gotcha. He wants to see the video. You get it. It's easier to see on a big screen, even on a phone screen. Okay. So that makes it a little bit.
Taylor.
Yes.
Can you walk towards the wall?
Walk towards this wall.
Yeah. Keep on going. I want to figure out what this is. Hold on, nope, left. Okay. Stop. I've got to be picking up. Yeah, okay, I'm picking up the beer over there. That's what it is. It's like, what the? Oh, shit. See how it's really blue over there? Mm-hmm. It's like, what the hell is that? That's probably what I was getting earlier, too.
Oh, I know.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So at times I'll get footage of the two camera people taking video of each other. I think it's absolutely hysterical when it happens because they're at a distance like this going, do you see anything? Do you see anything? So it's just the other person. So anything crazy going on with yours yet?
No. I kept turning this on and off, and April said he's great, so I'm just leaving it on now.
Okay. At 9 minutes and 26 seconds, it changes files.
Okay, it already did that.
It's nothing paranormal. I like to give you that warning ahead of time because everybody says, it just flickered. I'm like, yeah, it's 9 minutes and 30 seconds.
I almost asked you, but then I was like, okay.
Most people do. These files on this thing are huge. So at 9 minutes and 26 seconds, it's at 4 gigabytes for one file. So that's another reason why we start and stop your video. I splice it all together so we literally don't have 90 minutes because I would literally be up till 3 in the morning splicing it together.
Yeah.
So 45 minutes is well enough where I can let it run on its own. Again, that's about the average of what you catch on this is about 45 minutes worth of video. However, yours is probably going to be closer to an hour and 15 minutes because we started you from the start.
Got it.
So just so you guys kind of have the gist. So that's about 2 hours of video combined. Not to mention, we don't need video of us walking. Somebody's butt's going to be in the picture the whole time. And we don't need comments.
I told him put it on slimming effect.
Slimming effect.
So you're really...
She's more a video camera operator and it's a lot easier to see.
Oh yeah, that 1.5-inch screen.
Yeah. We're probably going to see something here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I spot check these. So for every 5 minutes, I maybe watch 1 minute. Same thing with the Spirit Box audios. So with that stuff, again, that's going to be a full 2 hours worth of audio. I'm not going to listen to 2 hours of white noise when I do this every single night.
Yeah.
So for every 5 to 6 minutes, I listen to about 1 minute of it. Whatever I catch in that 1 minute, I write it down, I hand it to you. So if it's something, it's going to be loud and clear. If it's disembodied, I'll obviously put, this is disembodied, much, needs further analysis kind of mentality, but if it's a song lyric, I'll make sure I notate that it's a song lyric so you guys know what you're listening to. Spirit boxes, any
Waters, assault,
names is what I'm looking for.
and names.
Okay. Alright, so
Brandon.
Brandon? Highly unlikely, but I'll double check.
Yeah, I know, right?
So let me kind of give you the gist of what this place is. When we cross that last crosswalk, sorry, I know it's somewhat of a long hike, but I take it to legitimate haunted locations. That was where the original Charlestown walls used to be. Charleston used to be called Charlestown, the walled city. So there were literally 4 walls around it. This is one of the first streets we ever had. The interesting thing about the buildings you're leaning on, they weren't here. So these were little tiny shotgun houses here, and people used to live here. I have the full list of names of every person that's ever lived down this alley. The names I commonly get are Benjamin and John. I get them about every 6 to 7 weeks on the same night, different spirit boxes, or the same, doesn't matter. Benjamin and John both lived here in 1801. I don't find it coincidence that I hear the same 2 names on the same night randomly. So again, take it for what it's worth. Every once in a while I'll get a 3rd name. That name is Jane, also 1801. You're probably thinking, well, how big is that list from 1801? 5 to 6 people lived here at any given time. That's it. So again, 3 out of 5 names, I think those are pretty good odds. This is called Lodge Alley because the Freemasons had a Masonic lodge at the end of this alley. So we get Scotty has shown up here a couple of times, which is kind of interesting. I have to chuckle every time I hear it. But this is a very interesting historical place for us. They did do an archaeological dig, unlike the Pinckney Mansion site, in between these bricks, and they did find some of their tools and clothing and silverware and those kind of things. It makes sense that they, made the assumption that these people were lower class. The other part of the wall was across the street on East Bay from where we were walking down, and the smell of low tide would have been coming through here quite often. If you haven't smelled it yet, you're in for a treat. Pretty stinky. So, if you're thinking, well, Nick, look at those beautiful homes down at the Batter. Well, those are angled just so they only get the breeze and not the smell. Not to mention, those are angled in such a way where they only had to pay taxes on what was on the front of their house, because that's the way it works back then. So if they were to have their mansion spread across the front like the Pinckneys, they would have paid taxes on the front of their house instead of just the side that was facing the street. So again, lots of interesting things about the angles of the houses on the Battery. We are going to walk through the rest of this alley. However, we're going to be cutting through a neighborhood to get to St. Philip's Church and Cemetery. I'm going to go based off of Patty's list to see what stories I need to tell, because there's like 15 true stories up in that corner. So I'll see where the evidence is actually leading us to. When I say we're literally right on the edge of where tour guides are allowed to go, that means no lasers, spirit boxes. This is a quiet area because this is Lodge Alley Inn. Every hotel, by the way, has a claim of a ghost. And we're going to be doing a round robin next summer of all the different claims to see which true and which not. So those will all be on the podcast next year. Fingers crossed we actually get some good stuff. So watch your step as we kind of go through this. Any EMF readings out of you?
Nothing yet.
Nothing. And Nicole, did you get anything on yours? No. It's kind of a touch and go. You never know in this place because when the restaurant is open, they just had a fire a few weeks ago. That's the reason why it's kind of darker down here than normal, which is fine because we're still on a ghost town, right? We're still in dark spaces.
Yeah, there's fires around here.
I know. It's all over all the time. And we're below sea level. You'd think we'd be safe from fires, but we're not.
I got PC.
PC.
Politically correct fire.
I was thinking personal computer.
That's what I said.
Not from the
I'm
1890s.
thinking initials.
I would actually Paul Caldwell. 1861, probably. I'll double verify my findings if I have the list correct in my head, but I want to say there was a Paul Caldwell here. So if we get the number 61 somewhere on the red spirit box or any other type of reading, maybe 61 milligauss on the EMF over here, we'll see what kind of comes out of that.
Destruction.
There's a lot of destruction back here. A lot. And what's odd is I have gotten specific artifacts that were found. What you got?
Sister.
Sister.
This is the fastest the word's been changing. It's stuck on them forever.
Interesting. Definitely not the bad news. Alright, let's head up to the church and the cemetery. So Taylor, if you are a picture taker, as we go up to the right up there, you'll see the St. Philip's steeple in the background. It'll only last for like an hour and a half. They spend a good 20 minutes here. Once everybody gets started around. Yeah, turning the spirit boxes up and get rolling. Zach, just so you know, this is a spot where that camera loves to act up. I have had instances where if I have a small group and a person with the red spirit box is standing next to me, a white film will go over them and their spirit box dies.
Oh, thrilling.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's already acting up. Everybody's got cold heads.
Maybe you need to stop it and restart it.
Sure.
So do that. Sounds like a bad band name. Warm Heads. Maybe Warm Bleeding Heads. That's a better band name, yes? Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, yeah, you're back in the game. And also, if you guys want
Patty, I don't know why you don't have a head, girl, but...
I don't have a head.
Oh, it's your hair. That makes a lot more
Oh,
sense.
shush. Stop the hair. Oh, curriculum.
Nice teacher.
Yeah. Is Zach bothering me? Curriculum came up, and then teacher, and Zach.
Yeah.
Weird.
Handsome came up, too. How funny.
Yeah, that was husband. Yeah.
Ah. Oh, I'm going to get a lot of people on this thermal camera.
Dead just came up.
Oh, I guess it looks like I'm filming these people. I'm going to turn away from... What'd you get?
So afraid. That was the first time 2 words
So
came up.
afraid. Does her hair look that crazy? Hey, come on now. No. Oh, you're going crazy now.
I got a awesome picture. Look at this of that place. Look at that.
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, that is really good.
Isn't that cool?
Even with like the clouds, that's perfect.
Yep. Look at it, zoom out.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
That's really good.
Uh-oh. Kayla's making chocolate chip cookies tonight.
We got so afraid, dead, guy, conflict.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, that's a good photo. Yeah.
Isn't that great? Right? Isn't that cool? You see that? That's max now. We're all the way up to that. That's crazy. Did you see that? All the way to the purple. That's right there.
Where did he say to like go by the front?
Of something.
That's what I want to get.
Camper?
This size right here.
Katie, what is your box supposed to be doing?
That's what I thought it was this.
Well, let me tell you. I'm supposed to turn the volume up, and then key words are supposed to pop through the radio.
Have you heard anything through the radio?
I heard
Sexy.
.com. Oh yeah, .com came in crystal clear. Then I also apparently touched all the buttons and
It's a
Megan
malfunction.
Thee Stallion.
Malfunction.
Yeah, user error. I don't know.
Bill?
2020.
Nice.
That's when he died. 2020. Just died? Just died. What is her name? Maybe it's said 20. Maybe it's just 120.
I heard 2020.
I'm just saying, maybe they're just very passionate about the 20.
20. 20.
He said, how many children did you have?
20. Good God. Yeah.
That was quick.
All right, here we go.
All right, what do you see?
Spirit. Do my feet look good?
You can't ask yes or
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
Ah.
it can't be yes or no.
Spirit, who has the best looking feet right now?
Silver.
Silver. and
Silver.
Flip flops.
They don't even know what sneakers are.
I know.
They
know what
probably don't know
silver
what
is 'cause they're
flip-flops
pirates.
are.
Done trying to come up with questions. Did you ever see anything on your thing?
Nope.
No?
Nope. I thought I saw something.
Oh,
Wound.
Wound.
how did you die?
You have a lot of death stuff going on.
I know. Yeah.
How did you die? Well, now I'm asking for more information.
Who gave you the wound? What's the name of the person who gave you the wound? Maybe he was the one who was the doctor who was shot.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Ooh.
Right.
Blood everywhere.
Or is it wound?
You're stupid.
Dang English language.
What is going on in this top left corner?
It means nothing. It's for effects, he
Ah.
said.
Ah.
So we have wound, readily, fully, died, conflict, so afraid,
I was
dead.
going to say, I liked when it went the other way. Dead, so afraid, conflict, guy.
That's true.
So afraid is freaky.
That is weird because
I don't like that.
haven't seen any.
Two-worders.
Yeah. What are you afraid of? Sweet. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Spirit, what are you afraid of?
Where are you buried?
There's too many questions.
Where are you buried?
Taylor, did you have anything spooky happen yet?
No.
I'm just getting an arm workout.
You're getting your steps in. I'm doing my steps.
Are you tired of us asking you questions?
Yes, go away.
No.
Aw. How many people did you kill?
How many people did you sleep with?
He's asking gay questions. Who's your baby daddy?
What's the name of Untitled Chapter?
We already asked that. That was my first question. He told us to ask it, Kayla. Do pirates like rum?
That's yes or
That's a
no.
yes or no.
A lot.
What do you drink?
What do you drink? What do you like to drink?
Blood.
I am hearing this all night.
We should just bring this back for William. Be like, that sounds like a sprinkler. They'll be like,
Slice. Slice. That's the next word.
Slice?
All gruesome.
Ooh.
Slice, wound.
Ooh.
I got 2020.
And sweet.
Sweet.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
How did you get your wound?
Yeah, a little hip hop.
He got his wound from business.
Oh, that's unfortunate. You doing
Oh, that's the
business?
doctor.
Dirty business?
That's a yes or no.
Well, I know. I'm just saying.
What kind of business did you get your wound from?
I hope it says medical.
I know. What kind of business were you in? What kind of business were you in?
Maybe you say remember you're on camera.
Oh, memories. He's in the business of memories.
What type of memories?
Tell us something about the memories. Tell us more about your memories.
I've been out of this.
That thing's my
My
favorite.
favorite is trying to guess what song is playing. You have like 0.5 seconds to figure it out.
Tell us about your memories.
Gory.
Do you have? Oh wait. What are your memories on Calico Jack's ship?
Sexy.
How do you know he's on Calico Jack's ship?
I don't know. He's not giving me anything. I'm
That's why
trying.
I said tell us about your memories.
Yeah, and he didn't
In
answer.
general.
So now I'm giving him a
Thinking,
segue.
but let's say. Why did you show the word memories?
I don't know.
Tell us your name. What was that? Tell us your name. Maybe they don't talk to you about it.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at me.
Tell us your name.
I've been on beat with this thing like the entire
All right,
time. I'm
let me
like,
go see if he's got anything to say about these words.
us peeing on each other. So, no.
What do you got going on? You can come over like you've got something. That excites me a little
Well, I
bit.
have a lot of words, memories. Well, let's go from the bottom up because that's more interesting. I think. After cupcake and curriculum, dead, so afraid. Supposed to choose conflict, die, fully, readily, wound, slice, business, memories.
Wow. So there's a lot of very vague,
Kayla.
vaguely, loosely related terms. So we have business,
That's
because Dad
what
used to
it's
send her down here for business.
Oh, okay.
So,
I was definitely looking at the
something
wrong
with
building.
guys.
So that with the roof would blow off
Conflict.
and these
Conflict
earthquake
guys.
anchors.
So I say conflict
So you
guys
see
because
this
they're
here,
not
which is
guys
reminiscent
on a
of
pirate
Cumberland.
ship.
That used to be a roof, so this used to be mercantile buildings attached to it.
Oh, okay.
So that's the roof line of a building that used to hook to this. So you can see the. So it's kind of cool.
Oh, it doesn't like this. Huh? It doesn't like this. Yeah, it really doesn't like that.
1720. So 20 is relevant. So we do have something. Anything on yours?
I heard 1950, or not 19, but 1753.
You heard 1753 as a year?
Yeah.
I was talking about that on the radio.
I don't know.
Wow. Okay. It's not relevant, but again, very interesting that you heard a 1700s year on the radio. So again, kind of take that for what it's worth. Because Mary Read died in 1721, the year after they were captured after their trial. So, but no, definitely not 53. But I don't know how old Untitled Chapter is. So 53 might be the number we were looking for. So kind of take that one for the grain of salt. I'm still going to write it down. Definitely going to look into those numbers separately, 17 and 53, because rumor had it that Anne married James between ages 16 and 17. So again, lots of holes in the story.
That thing is going nuts.
That's related to Sue Howard. We're still really close. So now I have to give you.
Well, we don't need it to be done for us.
Any readings out of yours? Again. Definitely not the 50 minutes. So if you have something over there and you can't recreate it, that's a good sign. So again,
But don't let us
whatever I
touch
was
it.
talking about at that specific time, I don't know which story it was. Was it just getting started on that? Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Let's see. We covered all the spirit boxes. Zach, anything crazy going on with yours?
Nope, not yet.
He's like observing the building. Brick by brick, it looks like.
Yeah, he's counting.
He's counting the bricks.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, what are we doing?
You don't see it?
Alright, so
You guys, right there. Image.
let's head over to this wall. Kind of see what's going on over here. Did you get some footage from the front, Zach?
No, not yet. Nope.
If you want to, before I start collecting devices, you can.
Yeah, absolutely. From the front of this one?
Yeah, so you'll go around the
Oh,
building,
okay.
put your camera right inside the wrought iron gate.
Cool. Come on, Kayla. We got a job to do. Jesus. You drop it like it's hot on the radio thing over there. Oh, wait, I shouldn't be videotaping people. Alright, my knee feels like it's gonna blow up.